First of all, my first issue. 2021, October 26th, a gazette was issued. In that gazette, the mandate was very clear. What was the mandate given for this task force? To make a study of the implementation of the concept of one country, one law within Sri Lanka and prepare a draft act. That is a bill. Draft act for the said purpose. And also second mission was the study of the draft act, amendments, and that have already been prepared in the Ministry of Justice in relation to this subject, and their appropriateness of the suitable amendments to submit proposal for the propose and include them in such relevant draft and the deemed appropriate. Now this is very clear. Immediately after that, 2021 November 6th, another gazette issued. Gazette you know I gazette then there is another gazette. Right? What happened this gazette? This gazette curtailed that. That gazette curtailed. And thereafter what this gazette say? Presenting proposal for formulating a conceptual framework. Ideally suited for Sri Lanka after making a study of the said concept, taking into account the view and the opinion held by various parties with regard to the implementation of concept. One gazette say draft act, another gazette make it research kandayam wage. Lot of money. Now my only issue, why these powers were curtailed within 20 days? That's my issue. Otherwise the ministers may resign, okay, I can't take this act. I don't know, hypothetical act. Then make a setting. Now what they are doing, like, okay, me, Kiwanan, Lamidi, law students can do this, no? Law students can do this. This is only a research. This is only a research. So very powerful gazette. That is the issue. But I like Narendra Sri Modi. Narendra Sri Modi address I will tell now, right? He can do it. He will do it. Now what he said? In the Independence Day, Honorable Narendra Modi, without any fearing, he is saying, Independence Day speech, Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced that the government will soon take a decision on the age of marriage of women. Earlier, the task force had been formed to consider raising the age marriage from 18 years to 21. This is the courage. He took the task force, which was appointed by him. This joint committee was appointed by the Minister of Women and Child Development, and the task was given. So my argument is that now in Sri Lanka, for certain personal laws, the age is not even 18 years. So I will come with Pakistan and Bangladesh also, comparatively, right? Even in Bangladesh, very recent judgment is there. They say that is 18 years. 18 years. What I want to see here, any personal law, whether it's Desabalami or Canadian or Muslim or any law, Mukkuwar law, cannot violate child rights. United Nations Human Rights Council and United Nations Child Rights Committee, strong recommendations were given for Sri Lanka. What is that? Yeah, even 1954 Shop and Office Employment Act. It is very clearly given less than 14 you can't employ him. But what about 14 and 18? This is not related to a personal law. මේ හැම නීතියම ලංකාවේ all law for the employer. So this has to be changed and increase the age for labor to 18 or marriage to 16. 16 at least. That's my argument. Why I say that? In between 16 and 18, with the concept of that female having intercourse or sexual affairs with her consent, it is not a rape. Now what will happen? After that the boy says, I cannot marry. And all the photographs now sent into the social media. There are a lot of issues. In between 16 and 18, police asking us. Sami දෙන්න එකට හෝටලේ ඉඳලා. දැන් අම්මා අල්ලගෙන යන්න කියලා කියනවා. අපිට අල්ලගෙන යන්න බෑ. With her consent. So that is where my argument, we don't want to go for 18 at least. Give them an opportunity for 16 at least to marry. Even our land lawyer knows very well. Even in Anuradhapura High Court there was a case. The age was between 16 and 18, and also with the Attorney General, and the others gave the consent to go for marriage. So this is where we cannot penalize anyone's rights. Under Tesolami law, under Canadian law, marriage is 18 years. And in India, I will give the laws one by one. It specifically say the age of marriage they want to, this is the law. Prohibition of Child Marriage Act PCMA 2006. That they want to change from 18 years for women and 21 for men. Well, normally they had 16 years. Now they are going to increase that. Okay. Now thereafter we will see this one country, one law. As my learned friend perfectly correct. In the Constitution 16.1 is a barrier. Not a single government up to now have tried to change that. They could have easily come up with an amendment. Amendment is coming up for the president terms and other things only. They could have easily amended it. Make again internet. Achievable. I mean, even you can't say compulsory female has to marry or not. There are issues like that. So therefore we can't target any religion on this. I mean, other than the religion, lot of other issues are there. Child labor, thereafter women harassment, 16 and 18, criminal, our penal code, all these things. Mr. Haki, your advice. You have to take into account all these things and not to target any religious group. I was in Kerala very recently, right? Now Kerala, I got all the news because I knew you are asking me to come and address. In Kerala what happened, I will read this. Many Muslim organizations in Kerala has criticized the union government's move to raise the minimum legal age of marriage women from 18 to 21. Again 18 lakh Kerala. Now what the Kerala government, Kerala is the only Communist Party government. That is very hard. It's a well established, 168 seats are there, 141 seats for Communist Party of India, Marxism. And the rest 40 go to Indira Congress. 50% Muslims in Kerala, 50% Hindus. Very well harmony is there. Harmony, they are maintaining nicely. They are not worried about these things. The harmony is there. Bharatiya Janata Party, no. In the state party. So that's how one time Communist Party, one time. These are political issues are there. And I saw harmony rather than in Sri Lanka, in Kerala, Trivandrum, Kochi, how people live there, Muslims. 50% of Muslims, very nicely there. But under the slogan of Communist Party of Marxism. So some political movements are also there, digging these things. So my argument, child marriage should be stopped. This is where health factors are there, other factors also. There can be several cultural differences. Sinhalas as well as Tamil. We all celebrate New Year. And Muslims also, they have their own religious practice. When I was a Human Rights Commissioner, in Rajagiri, this side Muslim mosque, this side Vishnu Kovil. Every day they come and complain to us. Their religious activities are totally different. We worship the animal, Vishnu Kovil, but the other side. But we can't stop that. We never said you can't exercise these rights. We said put a big wall and separate them. So we have to respect whatever the rights. But the issue is where slavery is also there in Sri Lanka. It's a very big problem. Rather than this one country, one law, perfectly, yes, justice should be there. Now Sri Lanka is a collectivism culture. All the other countries are West individualism. In a collectivism culture, we all live together. So I have a doubt with this type of task force. I don't know the final report. I also went and gave evidence to, they all called us to BMICH, and I separately met the monk, and I said, the monk agreed, whatever you see. He agreed. He said he visited Kalmuni. The priest visited Kalmuni, Jaffna, and listened to all these communities. That research they have done that part now. And the mandate, another 3 months they give. February, March, April, they have to come up with the report. So this report, I don't know how you are going to build the gaps. Now in India, when they appoint one team, that team totally working with them. Even in Pakistan also same. Our Prime Minister, Imran Khan, any threat he faced, he want to put this law into work. You have seen Priyanta, one of our Sri Lankan garment factory. Yes, he came forward and he asked to arrest. These are fundamentalist groups are there everywhere. But Prime Minister Imran Khan never tolerated that and gave the job to another Sri Lankan. That's how they are showing multicultural society out there. So there are a lot of examples like that. Now if you take personal laws like Desavalami, that is LRC is their Land Reform Commission, that is public, and the private property. It goes like 1947 Preemption Act. Under Preemption Act, no one cannot purchase a land there. Now what happened in the war period? Mana, these Muslim lands were given to Tamil people and they go for fishing, and the problem came to Sri Lanka Human Rights Commission. Rather than appointing a task force, this task force backed up by the executive branch. That's why Honorable Narendra Singh Modi said his independence speech. Without any brave, any fear, he took the decision. So definitely it will come. I don't know. You said civil court cannot be, but that statements are there with me. And then the other one is very, very important. When you come to the judicial review power in our constitution, it is not there. Judicial activism, judicial review power, it is not there. In that case, most of the time, another interested one, we don't have public interest litigation. Yesterday, Bar Association filed the case. Other day, the file kara Bar Association. Other day, the file kara. So those professional organizations, now they come forward to look the rights of the people. So whether I'm not going to argue that Supreme Court can. Supreme Court Rule 49(1), you can remember 88-89 period. When the youths were arrested, they cannot prepare a petition. Honorable, most respected Chief Justice Parindra Ranasinghe time period. 500 to 600. You can remember. Postcard. That postcard was taken as a petition, and lawyers like Kalyananda Thiranagam, Viswalingam, they all prepared that. So I think Supreme Court can expand. That's my view. So public interest litigation should and must come. There are some cases in Sri Lanka environment cases, it has given the low standing. But other than that, what I mean, one country, one law, rather than that, one country, one unity. Like you said, one country, one justice. My argument, one country, one unity like Kerala. We can live together. The only issue I have, this child rights. Whether the child rights are protected. Forget about that. Go and raid Colombo 7 houses. How many underage kids are coming from Tallavakelle, Hatton? But those are the things we have to see. One of the minister's house, 15-year-old, arrested there after a lot of cases came up. Everywhere like that. So the argument here is very good. And the task force has been appointed. One country, there is no problem. Provincial council's judgment is there. In that, we are sovereignty and unitary country. But my issue, Child Right Committee, Sri Lanka must submit a report 2023. Every 5 years they have to submit. We'll see that 5 years, at least this issue can be addressed and get a redress for Sri Lanka. Child labor is very high in Nepal. Very high in Nepal, child labor. But the issue, they also have their personal laws. And India also having their personal laws. That cultural activities, as well as their traditions, norms, all this what we take into account. Now, one country, one law should be had it as a feasibility study. This could have done a little bit study because this can be backed up by the new constitution. So in the new constitution, I have two arguments. Number one, Article 16(1) should be removed. If the executive can take that decision without any failure. In that, we can replace protecting the rights, even Article 9. All the religions are same. Now see the Indonesian constitution. Indonesia 100% Muslim country, but it never says state religion is Islamic. That's the first country I see. Indonesia. In the Indonesian constitution. So these are all to get the vote. That is the biggest thing. Any majority side, they go, they back up. Thereafter, they will try to get it. So I mean, some radical changes are needed. Then only we achieve. But even the word Buddhism is there, no harm has happened. For every religion, right to equality is there, as my learned friend Mr. Hakim said. So taking into account all these things, personal laws, within 190 I am with you. Because culture had come up with a long way. We can't change that. Then it is little bit talking to the blood, which happened in Randevala in India. But only thing, Mr. Hakim, if we can at least to protect the children's rights, women's rights, we can't say harassment and anything. It all coming in a separate line. Now there was a case. Miriana police asked me, sir, there is a big problem. Now both are governed by Muslim law. So they were living together and all. Someone has come and complained. But still I said, police, you can't take any action. Because according to Muslim law, this is, they have taken the consent of the wali and all the parents are together like that. But female understood, no, now I want to separate from that. Then she came and complained, but I said, no, it's very hard to take. So there are certain type of incident. I am telling you, everyone is like that. No. So there is a time for us to develop the country in a larger way, how this task force can contribute. One way, The task force can contribute, they have collected all the opinions. Now whether they are giving a basic draft to come up with a new law, or whether they are actually giving their study results, once again the Minister of Justice, you all have another type of hard work you all have to do. So in Pakistan, even in Bangladesh, many of the countries I have done some research, in all these research, they want to increase the age to 18 to 21. But practically, there are a lot of underage marriages. Lot of underage marriages are there. That is perfect. In India, this is the theory. Only theory. But when it's come to practical, poverty. You know, Afghanistan, what is happening now? Very sad situation. Parents, they have money to buy bread. They are underage female kids giving to rich families. Stay one day and come. This is very pathetic, not Sri Lanka. See what is happening in Ukraine. All these rights are violated. So Afghanistan, very sad. Afghanistan Human Rights Commission I have visited, that was #1 in Asia. Today they have no say. The Taliban, they have not given females right to education, which was their right to education. No, you cannot go to school. What a violation. What a violation. Thank you very much. 3 minutes, 3 points I will take to discuss. Number 1, Constitution, only one change you can. Task force, what is the conceptual framework? एक इन्ना इधर न उधर ने conceptual framework की तीर में बहुत मामा वो मामा वो क्या कहने कहते law student भी law एक बेला इधर पास तीनों चला एक तरह framework के हाथ में बोला there must be some way. So thank you very much. These are my questions.